Congrats on your new album. In my opinion, that's the best album of Dynazty so far. How do
Oh,
you
thank you.
feel?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very happy to hear this. And I have to be honest, you're not the first one to say this. I think I hear it on almost at least 8 or 90% of the interviews. Everybody's saying that this is our best album yet, and this is what we have felt ourselves. So it's just very nice to finally get this album out and see the reactions and to hear that people like it as much as we do.
Um, would you say that the band is more mature now than ever?
Yeah, short answer, yes. We are as old as we've ever been, so and more experienced than we have ever been before. So definitely, and we learn with every album that we make. We learn new things about songwriting and about production and everything. So it's only natural that I think that our output, our creative output, gets even better and better with each release.
How did you work for this album?
Was pretty much the same kind of process that we have been having for the past couple of albums. We write and we demo the songs at the same time. We try out different arrangements and we polish the songs. And when we feel that they're finalized, we move on to the next one. And when we finally feel that we have an album that is strong enough, or as strong as we want it to be, then we start to think about the process of recording it for real. And we do a lot of the stuff ourselves. We recorded drums down in Denmark with Jacob Hansen Studios. And the rest of the album is recorded by ourselves in our home studios, which is the same process as we did on the previous album. And then the album was mixed and mastered by Jacob Hansen as well. But yeah, we started writing the album about 2 years ago. During the first 6 months of the pandemic, when you realize that there's really nothing else that you can do at the moment. You cannot go on tour. You cannot even plan to go on tour. And we sort of realized that the only thing that we actually can do and that we know that we can do is to write. So we perhaps started writing this album a little earlier than we would have usually, maybe. But that also gave us a lot of opportunity for retrospect and to think about exactly what kind of album we would like to make. And so it gave us a lot of freedom to focus on this album, which I think was a good thing.
Who is responsible for the music and the lyrics?
I would say we are three main songwriters in the band. We write, well, basically all of the songs together, which is me and both guitar players, Luve and Mike. And then our bass player, Jonathan, was involved in one song, Heart of Darkness. And the lyrics are written by me.
Okay. How long did it take to complete it? Mixing, mastering, all of that?
Well, we actually dragged out the process a little bit because we had time. Because of the pandemic situation, there was really no rush or no hurry. I think this would have been the fastest album, considering how much time we actually put. This was the fastest creation.
Okay.
We wrote it very fast, and once we were sitting down and working, we were extremely efficient. And the recording process, the same thing. And then we dragged out the mixing process a little bit. But we started writing it in summer of 2020 and finished writing in March, April 2021. And we recorded it over the summer and mixed it during the fall. But we could have done that a lot faster if we would have been pushed. But since we didn't really have to, we let things lie a little, and then we worked on it again, knowing that it would still be a long time until this album would actually come out.
When you create or record, would you say that the feeling is the same as when you play live?
No, I wouldn't say that. It's pretty much two different processes entirely. Writing is there's a lot of trying out different ideas, trying out different methods, different approaches, and you sort of try to you just go by your ear and try to find whatever resonates with you. And then finally you record it, then it's all about the performance. You try to capture the best possible performance. And live is a different feeling. It's all about being there in the now and gelling together with the audience and having a good time with them. So I think it's two completely separate things, or different aspects, different shades of being in a band. And it's sort of like you come full circle when you play live. Like first you write the songs, then you record them, and then finally you get to play them live in front of an audience. And that's where everything comes full circle a little bit.
Which one do you prefer?
I don't have a favorite. I think that they are very, very different and necessary aspects of being in a band and being an artist, or writing and recording, and then finally playing live. And very different processes, but equally important.
Nils, how can you describe yourself? Which aspects of you are in your songs?
I think that a lot of, there's always going to be your influences when you write a song. There's always going to be whatever you're listening to at the moment, whatever you have been listening to all your life, what kind of influences you carry with yourself. And it's also, a lot of the times it's a bit of a stamp, a bit of a testament of where you were at the time when you wrote that album or recorded that album. Which is always very interesting when you go back and you listen to something you did maybe 5 years ago. It's very evident. You can find a lot of aspects of your life from that time period. So you always leave these traces of yourself in your music that you make, which is something that I find very fulfilling as well. You get out a lot of things that are stuck in your system when you write, which is a good thing.
Which song of the latest album is your favorite?
That's a good question. It varies a little bit from day to day, from week to week. We've had this album now for a long time, and I'm very proud of all the songs. If I would pick a favorite right now, it would be the last song of the album, which is Power of Now. It holds a message that I think is always going to be relevant and always going to be true, which is to find the joy in the fleeting moments that pass you by in your everyday life, not thinking too much about the future, not thinking too much about the past, but actually staying right here and now. So if you ask me today, I would say that song. So Power of Now it is.
Is it 14 years now with Dynazty?
Yeah, I guess it is.
How can you describe this journey?
Yeah, when we started this band and when we recorded our first album, I was still only a teenager. So it's been a long journey, and it's basically been about growing up in the process of everything. And I think that we sort of grew up together as a band and as friends and everything. We've known each other for a very long time now, and we've known each other since we were basically kids. Any 19-year-old or 20-year-old would say that they're adults, but when you look back, that's not really the case. And so it's been a long process, and we've developed our songwriting craft as musicians and as a live band, and it's still going to be an ongoing journey.
Would you change something in those years if you can go back in time?
No, I wouldn't. It's all learning from your mistakes is the most important thing that you can do. So You make those mistakes for a reason. So I wouldn't change it.
When you joined Amaranth, lots of the fans thought that you will leave the band. Of course, they were wrong. But I am curious, how come you chose to be in another band as well?
Because at the time I felt that I had a lot more to give. I think that back then I felt that I had energy, I had time, and the want and the will to do more than what I was doing. And this is one of the reasons why I was never worried that this would become a problem for Dynazty as well, because I knew that I would be able to juggle the two bands. And I still feel that I have the energy, the will, the want, and the time to do it. And as a matter of fact, it's also brought me a lot of freedom, a lot of experience to be in Amaranth, and something that I can utilize and something that I can use with Dynazty. So I guess that was the main reason, was that I felt that I have a lot in me, and I wanted to get more out of it.
I just listened to the Inferno song from Orden Ogan. How did this happen?
We share the same record label with Orden Ogan, and I got a request through the label where they asked to lend my voice for one of their tracks. And I listened to it and I liked the song. So I thought, yeah, I'll do it. And it wasn't much more difficult than that.
Oh, it was cool. I liked it very much.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Orden Ogan, and I was quite curious. Hey, Nils here. How? Do you prefer small clubs or open air festivals, and why?
I prefer both. Open air festivals are great. I mean, large audiences, a very special atmosphere at a big festival. You reach a lot of people, large crowds that you can get going, and just this enormous power surge from all the way in the back to the front. But then again, I also love a fully packed, a brim-packed club, sweaty. The lights are down, and the atmosphere is extremely intense inside of that building. And that's a special feeling that you can't get at an open air festival, just the same way as you can't get the feeling of an open air festival inside of a club. So I'm not going to choose either of them. I like both.
I don't know if Greece is in the papers to come for the next tour. I hope you are coming here in Greece, but if you don't, I have made myself a promise that I will come and see you wherever you are in
Okay.
2023.
All right.
I want to see you so much. You are one of my most favorite bands.
Well, that's great to hear. There is actually there might be a chance to come to Greece for us rather soon, but I really don't have a specific date for it just yet. But it is in the works, and I hope it can happen pretty soon. If not, then maybe next year. And if that doesn't happen, then you just go, like you said.
I will come
travel
wherever
and
you are. Yeah.
come see us wherever we are.
I want to thank you for your time, and I'm hoping to see you all here in Greece. Thank you so much for your time.
No worries. Thank you.